Hey guys, welcome to week number 4 of e-learning and the fourth marking period. So up until this point, you guys have been doing a really awesome job on the 3 assignments that you completed. If there was a reason that you did not complete any of the assignments, they're still showing up as missing. I did go through and put a comment on each assignment to remind you to get those completed for me. You can also check on Genesis. There is a missing grade put in there for you. And you will notice that it does drop your average a pretty good amount. Progress report grades are due this week. So if I don't get any of those assignments, I still have to leave that assignment in as missing. So please make sure if you have not done an assignment for me that you do so as soon as possible so that I can still give you some credit. These are pretty simple assignments for you guys to complete. I don't think that they take too long of time. I've really tried to scale back what it is I'm asking you guys to do. I know that there's a lot going on. I know all of this is very different and weird and hard to kind of grasp and do. But it is important that you guys are staying on top of your work and putting in some sort of effort. I just need to see some effort, and then you're fine. But I'm going to go through this next week's assignment. So last week was a drawing. We're kind of going to combine the two of kind of drawing and sculpture together for this project. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I think it's a pretty fun thing to do. I actually had a class in college where we were required to do a similar type project. So I hope you kind of will enjoy it. So these first images that are up here on the screen, again, they might make more sense to you to go back and look at for inspiration once I go through the whole Google Slides, but the project is called Mother Nature Masterpieces. So for this project, we're going to be talking about Andy Goldsworthy, and this might be an artist that you guys have heard of before, maybe not. Again, I studied him in college pretty much when I was taking all of my teaching courses, just because he's a really fun artist that's doing some different stuff that you don't normally see. So he's a British artist that uses nature to create his works of art. So instead of using paint or clay or some type of drawing material like chalk, he uses earth. So he uses things that are found in nature. Everything that he makes can pretty much be ruined by the wind blowing or by a snowstorm coming along or have it getting really hot out and then all the snow melts. So he kind of makes these pieces that are time sensitive. So in no time, they could be kind of erased and kind of completely messed up. And he actually will leave these pieces out in public for people to kind of walk through and find and see. So the photos that people might take, they might change over time. What one person sees, another person might see something completely different because the snow has melted a little bit or the wind blew and the leaves moved a little bit. Regardless, this is all just background information for you, but a really fun artist just because he's doing some different things. And I like to show artists that are doing different things because you all have different interests, and I like to spark them and hopefully introduce you to people that you've never seen before. So for this project, you are going to create your own Andy Goldsworthy inspired nature drawing. I call it a nature drawing because you're going to be using objects that you find in nature, and you're going to be kind of composing them in a sculpture of sorts, or you can consider it a drawing of sorts. But you're going to be using those natural elements that you find outside and have them be your paint strokes or your line that maybe you would use a marker to color in. Hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully as I show you more images, it will. But pretty much the items that you find in nature are your art supply. So there's a lot to choose from here. So you're going to collect items that you find in nature. I gave you some examples of flower petals, leaves, rocks, sticks, pine cones. Depending on where you live, you might need to go out on a walk to get these items, collect them a little bit. You might be able to find them in your front or backyard. Maybe you just want to do something with grass blades, or you just want to do something with little tiny, teeny rocks. It's really up to you. If you have acorns at your house, you can use the acorn shells. Really get creative with this and come up with something that you want to do. Maybe you want to collect items of a specific color, or maybe you want to focus on 2 colors. Maybe you want to focus on 3 and you want to kind of blend them together, red, orange, yellow. I don't know. It's really, really up to you. Maybe you want to do something where you take different sizes of rocks and you arrange them from big to little and create some type of arrangement that way. It's really, really up to you. And there's a lot of options here. There's a lot of room for play, which is what I really, really enjoy. So your job, once you have collected all of these items, is to arrange them into your nature drawing. So as always, you can be inspired by a photograph that you find online or a photograph that I'm about to show you in just a second. But please add your own twist to it. Please don't just copy exactly what you see. It's great to take inspiration. Artists do it all the time, but it is important that you're not plagiarizing and just kind of copying someone's work. Please, please make it your own. So here are some student examples of what you can kind of do here. So you see some rocks are being used, some leaves are being used. I see flowers or dandelions, maybe little twigs, but you're thinking of how you can arrange these into some type of artistic arrangement. Again, you can go back to this slide. I'll be sure to link it to the assignment so you can look at these images a little bit more if one inspires you more than another. Here are some more examples. Some of these are have a little bit more oomph to them, but I do like to show you a wide variety. So if you have some type of equipment in your backyard that you want to build your sculpture on, so for example, this image right here is on a sliding board. Maybe you have a wheelbarrow, maybe you have a flower pot, maybe you've just got a big piece of concrete that you want to use as your background space. Whatever you decide to do, completely up to you. Just want to give you the different ideas. This one right here is done with different colored leaves. This one is a fun arrangement of what looks like acorns and maybe some pine needles. And I think this one's entirely sticks. So there really is a lot that you can do here. And I hope that you see how you can use geometric forms to create a really dynamic art piece that doesn't require you to go out and buy any materials. You know, the materials that are found in nature are right there for you to use. And I hope that you can find some type of inspiration and do something that you enjoy. You don't need to bring these items inside to set them up. You can certainly set them up outside in the grass, just like you saw in these images that I showed you. So please don't feel like you need to bring them in your house. That's not required. Be aware that if it's a windy day, your art piece might get kind of ruined a little bit, but that is also part of the process. So it should be a lot of fun for you. As always, if you have any questions with this assignment, with any past assignments, anything at all, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm constantly checking my email. If I see that a question popped up, I'll respond right away. If you hand in assignments, usually I wait a little bit to when it's the next school day to respond, but I will always answer questions if they come in. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you next week with a new assignment.